Most people know that it's something with your back.
I mean, anyone's had to play through an injury of any type, knows that there's struggles and, there's things that, you maybe feel limited on or, the trainer's like, yeah, you need to kind of keep working on this because this isn't going to feel right in practice right away. And, at times it's frustrating. I mean, definitely the first couple games I was really frustrated because I really wanted to be out there, but at the same time I knew that I had to really focus in the training room and, with the strength staff and just, getting my body back to being healthy so I can keep playing. So, yeah, there's struggles, but at the same time, I'm happy I'm back and got a lot of season left to go.
Do you feel like you were moving as well as you have all year in the last game?
Yeah, and I think that's going to continue to just get better. I mean, even over the weekend and even today, the treatment, everything, I'm feeling better than I did even end of last season. So that makes me really excited because, I mean, that's always good to feel good. So, that's not always a luxury in football.
It's been 6 years, I think, since Michigan's played Wisconsin. It seems like one of those kind of old-school Big Ten type of matchups and offensive linemen would enjoy. Is it seems strange to you guys that it's been so long since the two teams have played?
Honestly, I'm really excited about it. I mean, they're a powerhouse. They're strong. They're big. And, and I feel like it's going to be a great matchup. I mean, I think it's going to be one of the most physical games we'll play all year. And, I'm really excited for it. I'm definitely looking forward to it.
Are you looking forward to the fact that you get a top 10 team as sort of a true test to where you guys are at this point in the season?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think it'll be a great test, regardless of how they're ranked now or not. I think, Wisconsin's always had great people, and they're always big and strong. And, I always enjoy the tests. I love the tests. We welcome them as a team. And, obviously, Coach Harbaugh loves tests.
I think last year, even going into the BYU game and the Northwestern game, that was a big storyline that you guys hadn't beaten a ranked team in so long. That was kind of a hump to get over. Do you think between those wins and the win over Florida that was kind of taken care of, that's out of sight, out of mind, or is that still kind of a lingering thing of winning big games?
I mean, it's always a thing to win big games, and especially against teams that have been doing well. We're into the season now, and getting a high-ranked team, playing against them, that's definitely going to be a good challenge. And I think it's something for us to overcome. But I mean, doesn't matter what game we have. It's always it's an obstacle. It's in our path what we want to accomplish. So, I mean, just on to the next one, and then preparing for this week, and then after this week, we'll be on the just focus week by week.
Ask you real quick about Devion Smith too. When the ball's going to be in his hands, the way he bounces off tacklers, that kind of stuff, does it change how long you think he'll have to go for a certain player?
I mean, anytime he's in there, it's always going to be exciting, and he's going to fight for every yard he can get. And I think he's really been embodying the fact of a running back who will. They tell me 3 yards will get 6, or get 4 yards will get 10. I mean, and I think that's great for the young guys like Chris Evans and Higdon and the other guys. Really look forward to that. Davion's been a great leader, and I mean he's very good. I mean, he's always talking to us as O-linemen, and he come into our meetings and we'll talk about protections and running, and he's really all in. So it's really exciting when he's in there.
Is it common for a back to come into the O-line meetings?
Yeah, every now and again. We'll have them come in if there's something new we got to put in, or if there's something we're changing. We want them to see. This is what we're changing, why, and this is what we as an offensive line are looking at. So you guys got to be, looking at this or that, or. But we'll have them in. Tight ends will come in if we're changing something. Quarterbacks come in if we're changing something. So.
Is this the best defense you've seen so far this season, do you think?
I don't know. I mean, Colorado, they had some strong guys. Last week, they had some big, strong guys. I think it'll be a similar test. It's kind of one of those things you look at their stats and you prepare for them as much as you can, but sometimes you get in a game and some guys may be stronger than you think or faster than you think, and I think it'll, we'll really know obviously when the game comes around, but I definitely expect it to be physical and quick.
Sorry if you already asked about this, but Wilton was saying after the game that there was one point where you ran basically the same play 8 times in a row, just flipping in the direction.
Yep.
Is that like an offensive lineman's kind of dream come true?
Yeah, Kales and I definitely enjoyed the pulling. That was a lot of fun. Him and I always live for that, and Kales is great at it. I mean, you want to get someone there on there to pull around and hit someone, you throw Kales in there, and hit anybody. So yeah, him and I were definitely loving that up, and Max was even asking for that start before we even had that drive where we flipped back and forth. We were begging for it, so it was great.
Ben, heard you talking about dealing with the injury. What was the injury? Did not hear you say what the injury was.
It was just a lower back strain. As far as backs, especially as a lineman, your backs are kind of important. You're a key. You kind of need that. As far as if your back's not okay, it'll affect other things. So the reason for the beginning of the season was just more precautionary, not to make it worse, try to get to better, looking at the rest of the season kind of thing. But I mean, beyond that, it was nothing serious. They never talked about anything more serious than just being a strain, and we want to protect it and make sure it doesn't get worse.
What Grant do well on Saturday to earn, I guess, grade out as well as any offensive lineman? Jim has said.
I think Grant, every week he comes in, he's looking for something he can get better at. As someone he was just a true freshman last year, and this is his second year, I think he's really stepped up to the plate and really impressed a lot of people. His mentality, his work ethic have really, I think, set him apart from what most people would expect from someone of his age and his experience. But every week there's something he's just getting more consistent about. It's pass protection or run blocking. I mean, nothing's ever perfect. I got things I got to work on. I mean, everyone's got things got to work on, but he's coming in every day and finding things to work on.
Kyle said a couple weeks ago that after the UCF game where rushing numbers were a little down, that fans worried about that, need to relax. Do you guys hear that? People worrying about?
I mean, yeah, people say. I mean, even my family and friends will be like, what was going on with that, or we expected more from you guys. And I mean, yeah, we always expect to have more rushing yards, and sometimes it just depends on the game and what the scheme of defense has. I mean, if they have a lot of people in the box, but we always leave the scheme up to the coaches, and they put us in the best positions that they think will help us run, and we just got to go from there. But yeah, I mean, as a lineman, you always want a lot of rushing yards. I mean, you love to run the ball, but it depends on who we're playing.
Saturday was a breakthrough in that regard. Not a whole lot of end arounds, no wildcat or anything like that. It was really just straight up running right down the throat, 4 different backs.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely loved it. I loved it. I think it was a lot of fun. I haven't had that much fun in a while. I mean, I always love when you see, I don't know how many, 300 plus yards. I mean, it's always awesome. But it's always like a sense of satisfaction as a lineman when you run that many yards and get that many points, score that many touchdowns. You see your running backs hitting huge plays and run plays. And you just feel like, all right, yeah, we did our job because he's 10, 15 yards on the field or more.
Do you count your helmet stickers? Do you know how many you have?
I don't know. I mean, they're kind of cool to keep track of, but personally, I've always I look at, okay, did we run the ball well? What are things that I didn't do well on? What do I need to work on? What is an offensive line we need to work on? And then did we win the game? Those are kind of the big key things. Some guys look at the stickers; they're more, more focused on that, and others. I think it's cool, but my focus is, did we do well as an O-line, and then did we win?
Last couple of weeks, you guys have had more of a consistent 5, and you guys have played most of the game as opposed to the beginning when you were rotating out a little bit. Can you see the difference? Do you think that's the reason that the offensive line is progressing?
I think so. I mean, me, Kalis, Mags, and Mason, we were used to playing with each other. And now that Grant and I are kind of getting used to each other, I think we're really starting to gel really well. And I mean, you need to have chemistry to have a good O-line. You can't. I mean, you can have a bunch of star players, but if they're not used to playing with each other, you'll see those issues. So I think it's great that 4 out of the 5 of us are used to each other, and Grant's really starting to mold in there, and he's doing really well with that. So I think that definitely contributes to that.
Was there a sequence when you noticed that, when it kind of struck you, either last week, one of the last couple of weeks?
Honestly, I felt like the whole game really there'll be mistakes and everything, but I just felt like we were really on it. Like if something went wrong, we were communicating about it, and we figured out the problem, we fixed it, or okay, next time we need to do this. And then when things went well, we had good blocks or good combos, and just through those, that's when we really started to notice it.
What do you like about Bredesen?
Bredesen, he's a fun guy. Kind of reminds me of myself. He used to play hockey, and almost the same last name. So
yeah.
Coaches definitely had I don't know how many times I've been called Bredesen during camp, but he's a good guy, and I'm really excited for him in the future. I think he's definitely got a great mentality, and a year of off-season under his belt and get him bigger and stronger. I think he's definitely going to be someone that people will definitely be watching.
Just another on the top 10 game thing. Last time Michigan beat one was